first look at Bellator MMA Onslaught, a fighting game developed by Kung Fu Factory and published by 345 Games. Bellator MMA Onslaught is based off a mixed martial arts tournament, a single elimination. It's meant to be a fast-paced arcade-style MMA fighting game with easy to understand controls but still filled with plenty of depth. The trial is a hefty 1.91 gigabytes, and in that you get hardly anything. You pretty much have one fight with a selection of 2 fighters, and then you have a chance to customize in your own character. But you won't be able to unlock this unless you win the fight, but I'll get into the customization of your character later. When I started the fight on normal difficulty, I thought I was going to have a chance, but nope. I got my ass kicked several times before I nailed this guy, and eventually I did after having several attempts and looking up the controls. But for a fighting game that talks about having easy controls, I think it's quite bad they don't have a tutorial featured in this. Looking at loads of text and buttons isn't very fun, but needless to say this game actually is. I'm not very great at these MMA UFC style fighting games, and I'd much rather have they took out the stamina bar and leave it to unlimited use of moves and no tiring out. But that wasn't really an issue in Bellator MMA Onslaught. Sure, I was getting my ass kicked, but when I finally beat the guy, it felt really satisfying, and so does every hit you land. Once you look through the text, the controls are easy to understand and mostly button combinations. It's just I don't like the whole ground and pound thing in these games, but I suppose it's sticking true to the sport. My issues with Bellator MMA Onslaught are with its audio and some of its presentation. I found the presentation of the menus and effects to be a bit inconsistent. Sometimes it looked really nice, other times it didn't look so nice. And that's the same with the sound effects. I do not like the sound effects of selecting and going through menus. It's really irritating after a while. But the sound effects and the connections you make with the other fighter, they actually made me laugh in a good way. They sound a bit cheesy, but I actually like that. I think it sticks true to that arcade feel they were going for with this game, and it reminds me of the old films in the past. The music isn't too bad either, and neither are the character models. I just wish they had a bit more life in them with some more blood effects and such. But after you win the fight and hearing the announcer announce the fighter several times from all the attempts you tried to make beat this guy, you will unlock the ability to customize your own fighter. The options are decent enough, and there isn't too many options that will put you off. There's a lot of tattoos. I just wish there was a chance to preview a lot of these customizable options before applying and deleting them just to see what they look like, but I suppose it's fine and I'm glad it's there. But the biggest bummer about all of this is that once you customize your fighter, which I simply called Beast, you can't use him in the trial, and that's a damn shame. I really wanted to use Beast, but for all the appearance aesthetics you make, you can also make some meaningful touches such as applying move sets and more, and that's really useful and interesting because it actually helps me learn some of the moves in the game. But all in all, Bellator MMA Onslaught is a pretty fun game. I really wish there was a tutorial at the start, and I wish some things were a bit more fleshed out, but the game is very fast paced and it has some arcade fun to it that the developers intended, and I like that a lot. The sound effects of the punches and the kicks colliding sound a little bit cheesy, and some of the sound effects might put you off, but for 1,200 Microsoft points, I think this is going to be a good buy. Something that you might want to look forward to, especially if you're looking for a good arcade MMA/UFC style fighting game. Try the trial by clicking in the link in the description. But that does it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this first look at Bellator MMA Onslaught. I put hard work into these first looks, so be sure to subscribe for more and like the video if you enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.
Rated T for teen.
When you enter the cave,
the crowd is on its feet tonight.
You enter their world.
Whoa! Oh my God!
Bellator MMA Onslaught.
The bell in round #1.
Create your fighter.
He came to Bellator to fight the champion
and control his destiny.
Be ready for anything.
With custom fighting styles.
Man, what a shot!
Arcade gameplay.
The anticipation continues to build.
Intuitive controls.
Gotta respect those submission skills. He's out!
With your score. Ranked worldwide.
We have the new champion!
Play in the MMA arena, where title shots are earned.
The fight of the year!
Not given.
Oh my God!
Bellator MMA Onslaught.